Welcome to Bad Wrench Automotive. All right, so we are here with our Nissan Pathfinder project. A little bit of a tongue twister this morning, apparently. So this valve cover needed to be replaced. We were leaking oil out of the bottom edge of the valve cover. I'll show you guys where that is right now. So where I noticed the leaking was down in here. All the way along here was covered in oil. And the exhaust is just below this, so if we leak too much oil, we could get a fire off of our exhaust manifold. Pretty important thing to fix if you're going to be doing a full tune-up on your car. So when we notice the oil leaks, we go after them, we chase them. This valve cover was a little problematic. So in order to do this valve cover, I had to pull harnesses out of the way. This one here had to come loose. There was a pop clip here, a pop clip here. I also had to remove this hose. This one was so brittle that I actually cut it completely off and bought a new hose and put a new hose on it. You'll also have to pull your coils and to pull the wire for the coils. Now, I'll cover this stuff in a separate video, guys, so let's not get too in the weeds with this. But the reason I pull the coils is so that I can watch when I'm pulling up that I don't snag something inside here or damage any other components that I don't want to damage. Next, we go after the bolts. These are all 10mm bolts, and the new one came with bolts, so the new valve covers came with bolts, so I use them. You're going to have 4 along the top, 4 along the bottom, 1 in the middle here, and 1 in the middle in back. The back one is a little tougher to reach, but it's not horribly bad. Once you've done that, then you've got to go through the work of prying this up again, because oftentimes these seals are dry and the bottom sides might be wet, but usually the top sides are glued onto the head because they don't stay lubricated enough with the oil that they dry out. So they get stuck on there. Oftentimes you got to come in and pry. You want to be careful where you pry. Usually I'll go from like here where there's a bolt, and I'll just lightly put some pressure with a big flat screwdriver just to kind of help, and then I grab here, wiggle back and forth while I'm doing that, and it'll pop up. You will also have to remove this actuator piece. I'm going to talk about this in a separate video, guys, so let's not get too carried away with what is missing here, but you will need to remove this. This is your cam actuators, and you will have to put new gaskets on it. I'll cover that in the other video. As far as the valve cover, once you've taken it loose, you will have a hose back here. This goes on the intake. You guys will have that already loose if you're down this far, because the intake had to come off. You're going to slide the valve cover back, lift up, and then bring it out this way out of the engine bay. And you'll repeat that motion to put it in. It's important to pay attention to how these come out so that when you put them in, you can put them back in the same way you took them out. This is true for 90% of automotive stuff. Guys, anytime we do automotive repair, it is always easier to put things back the way we took them out. So paying attention to how you take serpentine belts out, valve covers out, anything. You want to go in reverse order of what you did so that you don't have any problems. If you pull things out and then put them back in the same way, it's easy to do. The other thing is don't let too much time go between projects. I've known too many people that have let too much time go by. They lose bolts, they can't keep track of things. Here's a pro tip for you. If you're going to leave this apart for a while, put the bolts back in so you know where they are. Now, I'm not saying to put bolts where they could fall into the engine. No, you put them in the valve cover when you set the valve cover down off to the side. That way you know where the valve cover bolts are. If you have a fan shroud that's out, put your bolts back into the fan shrouds that are away from the vehicle. Don't ever put loose bolts over an engine that could fall into the engine. We had to go down a long ways, guys, and if we started leaving loose bolts here, they could fall down inside the engine and destroy the whole engine. If you guys are liking this Nissan Pathfinder content, make sure you guys are hitting that like button, hit the follow button, and the subscribe button, because I'm back on Facebook, and make sure you ring the notification bell so you get notified when I go live. or when I drop new videos. And I'll see you on the next one.